means that the Tulfo brothers are only brave and courageous if they are facing ordinary Filipino people. But if
Mm.
they are facing those in power or those public officials, wala silang
Tumitiklo.
magawa.
Mm. Mm.
Biglang tumiklop. Ang ayaw ko lang talaga kay Soto is yung parang napag-iwanan na siya ng panahon. I mean, the world is evolving, politics is evolving from time to time, and you are not evolving, you are stagnant. Come on,
Nandun
wake
pa rin siya
up.
sa chauvinist pig era niya, no?
Oh, nandun pa din siya sa time kung kailan siya pinanganak siguro, parang ganyan. So, it's not a good, anong tawag dyan? It's not a good behavior for a senator, for me lang ha. Yung nag-viral yung anak niya na nag-violate ng busway, ano yun? EDSA busway
Oo.
rule. Wala. He forgave the person. Sabi niya pa, pinagalitan ko na okay na. If it were an ordinary Filipino, nag-viral na yun. May 10 series of, ano na yun, episodes sa Rafi Tulfo in Action na show niya. Sasabihin, duwag ka, unruly ka, you are ganyan, ganyan. So
Wala
that's
kang
the kind
respeto sa
of,
batasag.
correct. Tapos si Rafi Tulfo yan, matapang lang siya kung ordinaryong Pilipino ang kilaban niya. Kasi nga, may platform siya, may TV show and everything. Ano talaga ako? No talaga ako sa mga Tulfo.
Yung mga reason kung bakit hindi dapat iboto yung mga yan.
Ako, Tito Soto. Let's start with Tito Soto.
Ah.
He brings to the Senate, unang-una, we've tried him. No. Bakit? Okay. Yung track record niya, he brings to the Senate his religion. I mean, I don't mind if a person is religious, maka-Diyos, or anything like that. Pero naman, senador ka ng Republika, hindi ka senador para sa simbahan mo. Hindi ka senador para i-impose mo sa amin kung ano yung paniniwala mo about the way we dress, the way we talk, our politics, personal relationships, and so on. Na, pwede ba? I mean, the 1950s call, they want their values back. Nagbabago ang mundo at iba-iba ang paniniwala natin. Huwag niyang i-impose. And I'm sorry, I can no longer accept it. Not in this day and age. Meron na nga ang usapan na nga, may mga sogi na usapan, LGBTQ and all of that. There is no space anymore for discriminatory action on the part of a senator. So, yun yung no to Soto.
Mm-mm. Ayun. Ikaw, Tio, bakit ayaw mo kay Tito Soto? Bakit hindi siya dapat iboto?
Ako, the way I view him talaga is really a traditional politician. Tama yung sinabi ni Attorney Trixie. I'll add lang konti sa points niya. Tama yun lahat. Ang ayaw ko lang talaga kay Soto is yung parang napag-iwanan na siya ng panahon. I mean, the world is evolving. Politics is evolving from time to time. And you are not evolving. You are stagnant. Come on, wake up.
Nandun sa chauvinist pig era niya, no?
Oh, nandun pa din siya sa time kung kailan siya pinanganak siguro, parang ganyan. So, it's not a good, anong tawag dyan? It's not a good behavior for a senator, for me lang ha. It is because iba na ang time natin ngayon eh. Tapos, comparing him to the new senatorial candidates, para talagang talaga siya, parang hey, dito ka lang muna. Parang pag-iwanan ka na ng panahon, dito muna kami. But the kasi advantage niya is yung niya recent position and at the same time the family name. Kasi nga parang naka-imprint na sa minds ng mga mamamayan na hey, Soto yan, natin yan, i-vote natin yan, parang ganyan. Pero no to Soto talaga. The fact na yung sinabi niya na ibibigay niya yung sahod, it only shows how trapo he is because he's been in the industry for several years. Diba? He's been in the politics for several years and he hasn't done that. He is supposed to do that even before, pero ngayon niya lang sinabi niyan kasi nga, false promises again. As a traditional politician, that's one of the indicators. Saying false promises.
I do not remember any advocacy na pag sinabi mong Soto, ay ito yung pinaglaban niyan, ganyan. I know that he is one of the principal author ng Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act. I think yun, ano siya, no? Parang isa siya sa author niyan. Which has gone so many revisions after nung, after siyang ma-legislate, ganon. So, parang hindi naman, I mean, I do not really remember any hardcore advocacy. And for a legislator, important yan eh. Kasi supposedly, dapat yung advocacy mo, pag pumasok ka dyan, meron kang advocacy, meron kang gustong gawin, na yun yung dapat na ilalaban mo ng patayan. Yun yung dapat na ilalaban. You must have at least one. You must have yung stand ni o sige, ang tawag dito si Soto yung Dangerous Drugs Act, ganyan. But gano'n siya ka-hard stand sa drugs?
So, okay. 3 for 3, no to Soto. So, next. Tulfo. But I can't tell one Tulfo from the other. Except for si Sermon. Yun, kasi medyo older, eldest check. So, pero yung tatlo, minsan I have a hard time distinguishing. I'm sorry.
Ang kandidato mo, ang part ng alyansa ay si Erwin Tulfo. Si Ben Tulfo ay, ang tawag dito, si Ben
Independent.
Tulfo ay independent. Yung mga recent survey is showing na si Ben Tulfo nalalaglag na sa survey. Wala na.
Wala na si Ben, ano?
Oo, nalalaglag na siya sa mga survey. Tapos, si Erwin Tulfo, nasa top 5 pa rin.
Or number 3 na, depending on which survey. Pero bumababa siya because akala natin, dahil Tulfo yan, forever siya number 1. Alam, may mga nag-analyze doon sa statistics that came out with Pulse Asia, na if VP Inday continues on her winning streak, at taas kasi ng trust and approval ni VP Inday and she continues to endorse heavily and push heavily itong mga kandidato niya, there's a chance na we can dislodge Erwin Tulfo not only from the top 5. So, may fighting chance tayo na maiupo at least minimum yung 9 na maiupo natin. And magiging biktima diyan yung mga Tulfo. So, ang saya.
Sa akin, talaga ako? No talaga ako sa mga Tulfo. Yung kay Raffy Tulfo before, na-appreciate ko yan siya because of course, mahirap kami. Tapos the kind of help that he's giving out to the ordinary citizens ba? Para bang, okay, at least we have Tulfo. At the very least, we have Tulfo. But then when I enrolled to law school, I realized na Raffy Tulfo has an unnecessary space pala sa society natin. Parang ganyan. So doon yung nag-twist yung yung ko sa kanya, impression na okay, mali pala talaga to. It's just that more on hubris ba na ito dapat ginagawa niya kasi may platform siya, ganyan. Tapos i-connect ko lang sila tatlo ha. Ganito yan. Yung nag-viral yung anak niya na nag-violate ng busway, EDSA busway rule. Wala. He forgave the person. Sabi niya pa, pinagalitan ko na okay na. If it were an ordinary Filipino, nag-viral na yun. May 10 series of, episodes sa Raffy Tulfo in Action na show niya. Sasabihin, duwag ka, unruly ka, you are ganyan. So
wala
that's the kind of... Correct. Tapos, si Raffy Tulfo yan, matapang lang siya kung ordinaryong Pilipino ang kilaban niya. Kasi nga, may platform siya, may TV show and everything. Now, let's connect it to Erwin. Ito yun. Ito yung hypocrisy ng Tulfo family. I don't know if kakasuhan nila ako by saying this because marami ako narinig na kinasuhan nila by criticizing them. Pero this is a fair criticism talaga. Ito yung nakita ko based on my observation. Yung nag-float, yung issue about Erich Sylvester Tulfo, for me lang it's really a form of fraud. It's a form of, it's, diba, it's not a good, talaga, image for someone who wants to be voted for a national position. Kasi i-connect ko yan kasi there was one time na there is this OFW na parang may nagka-problem din siya when it comes to his papers and everything. Pero grabe yung castigation na ginawa ni Tulfo sa kanya, ni Raffy Tulfo. Now, when that issue came out, na pineke ni Erwin Tulfo yung identity niya sa US, may document na lumabas from US, where is Raffy Tulfo? He is very silent, di ba? Wala siyang sinabi. Hindi niya, dapat sana pina-Raffy Tulfo in action niya para maraming manonood. If he's really after the views and the, you know, like the social media engagements, dapat ginawa niya yan. Pero hindi niya ginawa. Now, si Ben Tulfo, alam naman natin, and for sure alam niya ni Attorney Trixie na parang he's one of those few figures who started the investigative journalism. 'Di ba yan nakilala? Bitag, ganyan. Magaling mag-investigate, ganyan-ganyan. Pero nasaan si Ben Tulfo? Yung ang daming pangyayari sa Pilipinas ngayon na dapat niyang i-investigate. Nasaan yung investigative journalism skill niya? Bakit hindi niya ginamit sa administration na ito? Kasi nga, alam na natin ang sagot. Marcos ang nandito ngayon eh. Kung gagawin niya yan, either tatargetin yung show niya, 'di ba, babanggain yung sa mga taxes and everything niya, everything that they can use against him, pwedeng gamitin. Pero walang ginawa si Ben Tulfo ngayon. What does it mean? It means that the Tulfo brothers are only brave and courageous if they are facing ordinary Filipino people. But if they are facing those in power or those public officials, wala silang magawa. Biglang tumiklop. And it's a complete opposite of what VP Sara is doing to the country. VP Sara is a woman. I'm not using the woman card here, but compared to the Tulfo brothers, mga lalaki, mga makisig, mga ganyan-ganyan, pero walang ginawa. Mas lalaki pa si VP Sara sa kanila. VP Sara, kaya niyang i-publicize, risking her position, kaya niyang i-publicize niya lahat ng mga katiwalian. Ginawa niya yung parang mga investigative skills niya para kalabanin ang gobyerno sa lahat ng mga kamalian nito. Where are the Tulfo brothers? They are silent. So that means to say, either they want to be allies with the the corruption that is currently happening in the country, or they are just duwag that they cannot face the giants in the hall.
Correct. Ayun.
Agree.
Okay. Naku, mahaba to. Naku, ang dami kong bigil sa Tulfo.
Kaya, wala pa ako. Isa pa. Tulfos.
Sige, Attorney Trix.
May kaso si Raffy, may kaso si Erwin. Libel, conviction, they should have been disqualified. Nakaupo sila pareho. Question mark. Paano nangyari yun? They exploited a loophole, and I'm not sure yet how they did that, is that napatagal yung kaso nila doon sa COMELEC, na-elect sila, or in Erwin Tulfo's case, nakaupo siya. And the COMELEC ceded jurisdiction either to the House Electoral Tribunal or the Senate Electoral Tribunal. How that happened and why nagtagal sa COMELEC remains a mystery to this day. So, note.
Attorney Trixie, yung libel conviction ba, is it a case involving moral turpitude?
Yes.
Okay.
5 years
Kasi
ang period of disqualification.
Yes. Sandali lang. Kasi if you look at the candidacy,
hindi pala siya perpetual.
5 years lang.
Perpetual.
Okay. Kaya pala, because if you look at the COC niya, yung final niya, di ba may question there na, have you ever been convicted of a criminal crime, ganyan. He answered no. He answered no. So sabi ko, anyway, kaya niya nga effect yung identity niya sa US. How much more yung COC form. So it's given na.
Correct. So, ice cream kain tayo. Nag-ice cream akong init eh.
Ayan,
so,
nagugutom na rin ako.
Baka yung mga viewers natin, sinong gusto nyong kilatisin natin?
We have Seaside here.
Empanada. Ayan. At tawag dito, ako, I do not want any Tulfo to hold any government position. Because unang-una, they are not really for public service. The Tulfos are, and ako ginagawa ko silang package, I don't think there's a difference dun sa at sa mga atake ni Erwin, ni Rafi, at saka ni even Mon Tulfo and other Tulfos. Except yung babae yata na Tulfo. Ayan. Kasi yun, hindi naman yata nagvo-vlog yun eh. Yung babae.
Ano ba yan?
Si Wanda.
Wanda.
Si Wanda, oo, ayun.
He runs a travel agency, I think.
Mm-hmm. Ang mga Tulfo ay entertainers. Okay? They are entertainers. And just like any other entertainers. Okay, wala akong problema na they have platform, meron silang mga YouTube, at saka yung meron talaga silang brand. Meron silang brand. Mm-hmm. So just like just like an artista or just like an any entertainment entity, ganon. Hinahanap nila kung ano yung pinaka-profitable na content. Hinahanap nila kung ano yung pinaka-profitable na content. And that is my problem with the Tulfos. Okay? Yung hypocrisy. Kasi, kayo, entertainer kayo. And sa totoo lang, walang masama, no? Kung entertainer ka, gusto mong maghanap ng content na patok, di gumawa ka, kumita ka, pagkakitaan mo ng billion yan, go, walang problem. Okay? But, ang issue ko is, hindi sila honest doon. They are pretending to be public servants. They are pretending to be public servants. Okay. Dun sa pagiging entertainer na gumagawa ng mga ganito, tapos parang nagpe-pretend, kung tinutulungan namin, ganyan-ganyan. Actually, hindi kayo tumutulong. Kasi kung tumutulong kayo, dapat meron kayong fair share ng kita dun sa mga bawat content pag ginamit niyo yung story ng mga tao. Hindi naman ganoon. Pagka kunwari, lumapit sa inyo, you find the story, uy, merong virality potential to, kinontent ninyo, 2 million views. What is the share of the person, yung story ng person dun sa content ninyo? Since this is an entertainment, okay? Since this is an entertainment, I think, sa isang tao na nagkagaya ninyo, na nagpapanggap na public servant kayo, partihan nyo yun ng maayos. Yung
talent fee man lang, ano?
Oo! Pagkatapos ngayon, bibigyan nyo ng 20,000 pesos, bibigyan nyo ng 100,000 pesos, kasi tulong ninyo sa kanila. Matapos nyo gamitin yung storya ng tao, ipa-viral ninyo ng bonggang-bongga, and to certain extent, na vilify pa yung mga taong mga pinag-iimbita nyo dyan, against their will, pagkatapos, hindi nyo naman babayaran, hindi nyo naman bibigyan ng talent fee. Diba? I mean, for me, dun sa na yun wala pa tayo sa katotohanan dito, nandun pa lang tayo sa wala pa tayo dito dun sa them holding a power in the government, wala pa tayo dun. Nandito pa lang tayo dun sa Erwin Tulfo Brothers as enterprise. Dun pa lang hindi na honest. Dun pa lang hindi na honest. My God! You are pretending to be, hindi, nagsisik kami ng justice, naghanap kami ng justice dito, tinutulungan namin ang mga walang laban, ineme, ganyan-ganyan. Basura! I mean, if you are an entertainment content creator, and you are, huwag kayong magpe-pretend na public service, kayo. Huwag kayong magpe-pretend na public service kinembot kayo, ganyan-ganyan. You are, okay, an entertainment group. Entertainers kayo kasi nakakaaliw yung content ninyo eh. Madadrama, may away, may mga ano-ano, ganyan-ganyan. Okay? And dun pa lang, hindi na kayo honest, hindi na kayo fair. Hindi na kayo fair. 'Di ba? Pagkatapos, yung kung paano niyo siya binebenta sa mga tao as if kayo yung may hawak ng baston sa hustisya. And that is really a disservice doon sa mga tao na nandun talaga sa justice system natin. Kasi tama yung sinabi ni Tio, no? Kaya actually sa legal community, when Rafi Tulfo and the Tulfo brothers became very popular, matagal na usapan na to sa legal community, na bad trip talaga sila sa ginagawa ng mga Tulfo, yung mga ganyan, parang bitag, mga ganun. Why? Because they are undermining the judicial system. Ano talaga yun? This is a fundamental problem. This is a very, very fundamental issue. Hindi yun tama. At pagkatapos, ngayon, paano i-justify ni kasi, in-abuse na ng mga Tulfo yung ignorance ng public. Because Kasi totoo rin naman na may mga problem yung judicial system natin, totoo rin naman na merong ano. Ngayon, nagpe-pretend siya na through his show, maa-achieve yung hustisya. And that is not correct. You
In
are not
fact,
actually strengthening the justice system in the Philippines. You are weakening it further through your shows.
correct.
Hindi ka nation builder. So, ngayon, nandun na tayo sa simula as an entertainment entity, okay? Kasi talagang nagko-content ka lang naman at saka hinahanap, sinusort mo naman talaga yung mga nagrereklamo sa'yo according to the virality potential niyan eh. Kasi kapag ka meron, ang daming-daming lumalapit sa inyo with a legitimate concern na hindi nyo rin naman ini-entertain. 'Di ba? So ngayon, nandun tayo dun sa you as an entertainment group who's not doing it fairly doon sa mga ini-involve ninyo sa show ninyo. By the way, Raffy Tulfo is the is the wealthiest vlogger in the Philippines. He is the wealthiest vlogger in the Philippines, Raffy Tulfo.
Wow.
'Di ba? Well, meron silang mga legal parang legal structure in order to make it appear na ang may-ari noong YouTube channel ni Raffy Tulfo is an NGO. Things like that. Pero
Ay, sorry. You know why? Taxes.
Correct. 'Di ba? So parang doon
Sana tax exempt siya, ha? Kasi meron kailangan certified tax exempt doon ni institution siya. I haven't looked in, pero
yes. And that is really questionable, Attorney Tix, kasi 'di ba parang how can you be a non-profit organization na meron kang unlimited income sa YouTube? 'Di ba?
What we need to see is where does this go? If it is a tax exempt doon ni institution, dapat may reports yan, regular, kahit man lang yearly reports about where it goes.
And if I remember it correctly, only 10% of all the income of a non-government organization should be flowed back to administrative cost. So ibig sabihin, yung 90%, yun dapat yung ginagawa mo sa operations mo. Ngayon, kung yung operations mo, nagko-content ka, sana man lang binabayaran mo ng talent fee, yung mga guests mo.
30% actually. 30% can be traditionally used for administrative costs. The rest, pwedeng imbakin basta later on it's used for the purpose of the NGO.
So, yun yung problem ko. Okay. So, yun yung pinaka-fundamental flaw noong them as an entertainer. O pagkatapos, na-master nila yung deception doon sa level na yun, umakyat naging public official. Under the premise na sila ay lumalaban sa hustisya, sila ay tagapagtanggol ng mga naaapi. Pagdating sa Senate ni Raffy Tulfo, example na natin yung sa PCSO, na they would have to inquire all the kababalaghan in PCSO. Na yung unang hearing niya, naka-full battle gear si Raffy Tulfo. Asin niya, bakit ganyan? Imposible ba yan? Parang mathematically impossible yan. Ganun yung mga litanya ni Raffy Tulfo. But the succeeding hearing, siya na yung nagde-defend sa PCSO. What's going on here? I mean, there's something wrong with your principle, sir. Diba?
Inconsistent,
Oo, inconsistent tayo dito. I mean, if you want to know the truth, by now, dapat nakuha mo na lahat ng COA report. By the way, Dare to Ask is exposed. That in 2023 yata, if I am not mistaken, merong mga COA reports na diniscuss si Dare to Ask, na yung PCSO, merong 22 billion worth of winnings na hindi nila pa na liquidate. Meaning, hindi pa nila na ma-match. Wala kasing winner. Hindi identified yung winner. Pero na-release na. Na-release na.
So, yun yung natulog sa Senate investigation. Yung issue niya.
These are the things that can be verified through COA report. Na parang, ano bang hawak nyo dyan, COA? Ito, tapos na to, 2023-2022 COA audit report. Winning sa loto, dinisburse na. Walang pangalan kung sino yung mga nanalo. Saan napunta? yung mga pera. 'Di ba? So ngayon, kaya ako, I cannot accept any Tulfo. Erwin Tulfo in 19th Congress. Kaya tuwan-tuwa rin ako dito kay Richard Gomez. Dahil hindi mapigilan ng tumbong ni Erwin Tulfo na magsesenador siya. Ginamit niya yung privilege speech niya sa 19th Congress saying na, ganito na ang ginagawa namin dito sa Comprehensive Dangerous Drug Act. Ito na yung aming mga ganyan-ganyan. Ganun-ganon. Dapat ito, maamyendahan ito, ganyan-ganyan. Madami siyang mga kinukuda-kuda dun sa Dangerous Drugs Act. Richard Gomez, who is a long advocate, a long-known advocate of long anti-drugs advocate. Sabi niya, sir, yung sinasabi niyo po, tinrabaho na namin. In fact, tapos na yung report namin. Gawa na to. Anong sinasabi ninyo na dapat amyendahan, dapat baguhin or whatsoever? I attended every single committee hearing para sa amendment niyan. And it's all done. Ngayon sabi ni Richard, please wag mong gamitin yung privilege speech mo para kunwari nagtatatahol ka dyan at mananawagan ka sa Committee on Drugs na ayusin to at amyenda because we finished it. We finished it. And I think I know what Erwin Tulfo was trying to do then. Ang gusto ni Erwin Tulfo, magpi-privilege speech siya, pagkatapos alam niya na tapos na yung committee hearing. So ngayon, ang being a PR that they are, they want probably to twist it na nag-privilege speech si Erwin Tulfo. And lo and behold, mabilis natapos ang kinembot na amendment na pinanawagan ni Erwin Tulfo.
Showbiz. Showbiz talaga.
But Richard Gomez was not having any of it.
Yeah.
Talaga, kinall out niya si na parang please. And I think, yun yung naaamoy ni Richard Gomez doon, na ay puta, epal to. Tinrabaho namin sa committee, pagkatapos siya yung mag-aani ng credit. Ganon. Pagkatapos din ngayon, bulol-bulol na to si Erwin Tulfo. Hindi. Actually, ang pinapanawagan ko ay bilisan na ng Senado. Biglang para sa Senado na daw yung speech niya. So, it's on record. This is on record. So, my God, please tell everyone, we do not deserve a Tulfo in the government. And if the Tulfo are going to get another seat in the government, nakakahiya tayo. Let's be aggressive in telling everyone na yung mga ganitong klaseng tao dapat hindi humahawak ng government power. And it is as important dun sa pangangampanya natin ng mga kandidato natin. Aside from that, of course, ang daming dishonesty nito. Fino-fortify lang nito yung na itong si Erwin Tulfo, hindi ito mapagkakatiwalaan. Hindi honest sa identity niya, hindi honest dun sa trabaho ng Committee on Drugs. 'Di ba? Hindi honest dun sa, hindi honest dun sa qualification niya para humawak ng government position. So, I mean, let's not put another garbage in the Senate.
Nalusutan tayo ng isa, tama na 'yon.
Tama na 'yon.
3-4-3, no to Tulfo. At yung mga mas controversial naman, ano mga binabanggit? Sino ba yung mga, lumampas na Sino ba yung mga nire-request nila na kilatisin natin, bakit no sa kanila?
Benhur Abalos. Ayan. Ito, si Ping Lacson, Bong Revilla, Benhur Abalos, Abby Binay, Pia Cayetano, Lito Lapid, Manny Pacquiao.
Okay. Para sa akin, isang reason lang yan. Alyansa sa akin. Kasi they will be subservient to the desires of the president. Which means, impeachment for Inday yan. So, sorry, I will not risk Inday for, no matter kung gano'ng kaganda yung plataforma nila. As long as that, kasi by doing so, complicit na kaagad Wala na, kumbaga, para sa akin, the choice was made when these people run with Alyansa, they know that yung kapalit niyan will be, pag umupo sila dyan, they're going after Inday. para sa akin, one and only one reason is enough for me. Alyansa kayo, goodbye. Sorry. Hindi na ako aabot sa punto na kikilatisin ko pa yung mga plataforma ninyo. The moment you said yes to Alyansa, that meant a no for Inday. Okay. We know where you stand. Game.
Ayan. At highlight natin si Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao. Unusual si Manny eh. Meron
Kasi
siyang...
si Manny, sorry, Attorney Trix, go.
Mindanao kasi. So, no matter what, he will have a propensity for the Duterte aligned candidates. So, nagsusuporta siya ng mga it's a matter of his survival also eh. Kasi si Manny's initial run was supported also by the Dutertes. So, para sa akin, he will not be able to choose one side over the other. But my problem is this. His inability to choose one side over the other.
At this
so,
point.
Dahil ambiguous yung kanyang stand, and yet, I strongly identified with Mindanao, which strongly identifies with the Duterte. Maka magka-identity crisis siya later on pagdating na sa impeachment. So, I mean, as a person, I like Manny Pacquiao. We've had run-ins before. Daming instances. Galit na galit siya sa Luminous. But, ibig sabihin, napapansin niya kami. But, apart from that, yun nga, for me kasi, important talaga what their stand is going to be on the impeachment. And dun pa lang, kasi number one ko parati yan. Anong magiging stand nitong tao sa impeachment ni Inday? If sa tingin ko kakampi, pero hindi siya member ng PDP, kikilatisin ko na yung plataforma niya. So, and then there's also personalities like the Tulfos na umpisa pa lang nagka-cringe ka na, no. So, yun. May mga classifications tayo ng ganyan.
Ako naman si Manny, no? Ay, ikaw muna, Tio, gusto mo?
Yes, ako kasi bobo ako. Oo, sorry bobo ako. Tapos I don't wanna be led by someone who is bobo. You know what I mean? Tapos kung tanga ako, ayaw ko din yung magli-lead sa akin tanga. Ganyan. Bakit ko sinasabi yan? This is because during the 2022 elections, Manny Pacquiao has said a lot of things that are not meant to be said, di ba? Ganyan, like, magnanakaw yung mga Marcos, di ba? If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. I'm just trying to recall everything last 2022 elections. Tapos sinabi niya na yung like this sinungaling thing, just like Lenny's sinungaling thing, mga ganyan-ganyan. Tapos ngayon, nakipag-alyansa ka sa taong sinira mo before. What kind of person are you? What kind of leader are you? Yung ganyan. Kaya yung sinasabi ni Attorney Trixie kanina na what you do not understand when it comes to Manny Pacquiao is his inability to choose whose side ang pipiliin niya. Although as a person, sige, mabait, may maraming natulungan because yun, bilyonaryo naman and everything, ganyan, given na yan. But the thing is, we're not talking about the charity works, his charity works. We're talking about the legislative aspects of governance. And his, di ba? Dapat sana, pero naging retirement plan niya yung politics, tapos na siya sa boxing So, ngayon, dito muna tayo sa... So, I say no to Manny Pacquiao talaga.
Ayan. Ako kay Manny Pacquiao, there are very, very few Filipinos na tingin ko kung usapang greatness, PRRD is up there when it comes to leadership. Is really up there. Ganon. And yung same level ng greatness, ilalagay ko rin si Pacquiao doon. But not as a political being, not as a politician, because of his athletic dominance. And I think yung story ni Manny Pacquiao from dirt to where he is right now is a story that should be told to youngsters, to inspire, to change your life, to be resilient and relentless in improving yourself. Ayun. Ako talaga si Manny, ako sa totoo lang, ako willing akong i-forgive yung tax ni Manny eh. For that reason alone. For that reason alone, that what he did as a person na very, very poor and who was able to turn his life around and become one of the greatest boxer of all time professionally. Sa totoo, ako willing akong i-forgo yung taxes niya because of that.
May
But,
laban naman kasi sa taxes eh.
oo.
May tax duty eh.
Oo. Ngayon, ang tawag dito, ang problem ko is you simply do not have the capability to do legislative work. I'm going to support Manny Pacquiao in all his endeavors. Na, of course, dapat hindi sugal kasi parang meron sugal-sugal to si Manny.
Ibang usapan yan.
Ibang usapan yun, ganyan-ganyan. Pero, yeah, like for example, yung mga charity works, you do that, ganyan-ganyan, yung improving the life of the people. But you do not need the Senate in order to do that eh. You simply do not, have what it takes to do legislative work. And, natry mo naman eh. Natry mo naman eh. And I'm saying this with all love, with all love, na, ang tawag dito na, nakikita ko yung kinang ni Manny Pacquiao with all honesty, and I'm saying this with all the love I can give to Manny Pacquiao, but you do not have the legislative capability to do the work in the Senate. Na-try mo na yan once, okay? Nakita na namin, wala ka na simulan, Beck. So, wala kang itutuloy. Diba? Wala kang simulan, so wala kang itutuloy. So, alis na po tayo dyan. Wag na po dyan. Ganon. Ano na lang, do something else more meaningful. Yung ang tawag dito, hindi sa politics.
Improve niya ang Jensen.
Yeah.
So, okay naman yun. So, next. Sino pa ba ang mga, medyo controversial na naman? Kasi sa akin, pag alyansa, given na eh. Alyansa ka, tapos ka. Tapos ka sa akin. Kasi we're in a battle eh, para sa akin. If hindi sana ganun ka life or death, yung hinaharap ni political life or death, ang hinaharap ni VP Inday, we'll go deep. I will dive deep into their platforms. We do not have that kind of luxury this time. Para sa akin, what's going to matter first of all is your vote. How you're going to vote. Now, merong mga like mga question marks. Pia Cayetano, halimbawa, alyansa, pero her brother has been vocal. Ang difference is, unlike the Villars, na yung parents and all that, they were vocal about the kidnapping, tapos si Camille tumatakbo sa alyansa. And then, surprise, inendorso nga ni VP Inday. For me, the Cayetanos are playing it safe. Isa na nasa panig ni Inday, which is Alan Peter, and then Pia is nandun sa alyansa. So, for me, halata naman kayo, family politics. Diba? Somebody, para safe yung pamilya, parating may isa dun sa ibang panig. So, sorry, no to Pia.
Alyansa eh.
Alyansa
eh. Ayun. Yeah. Parang simple lang yung yung sa alyansa as a whole, X talaga simply because they are team yes sir. Sabi nga na nag-comment dito kanina, they are team yes sir. So wala tayong aasahan sa kanila, and ayokong i-risk yung magre-risk pa ba tayo dun sa, kasi mga old-timers to karamihan eh. Like for example, Bong Revilla. Is there any parang
give chance to others?
Oo. Anything that you can do na sobrang bongga na magdadalawang isip akong mawala ka sa Senado. Wali naman eh. Lagi ka nandyan. Wala namang bonggang na-deliver. I mean, ang naaalala kong na-deliver ni Bong Revilla is the anti-voyeurism law dahil do sa video ni Hayden ko at saka ni sino nga yun? Katrina Halili. Yun lang. Yun lang. So parang mas marami pa pong problema ang Pilipinas na mas matitindi at kailangan namin ng space para dun sa mga tao na yun who are going to prioritize real problems.
So ito, sabi ni Witwit, then the same applies with Aimee. Parang pamilya daw na naniniguro. There's a difference. Si Aimee tinatakwil. Si Aimee bonggang-bonggang inaaway ng mga mismong kapamilya niya. Nakakailang Sunday lunch na ba si Aimee sa palasyo? Isa lang ang nabilang ko na post-elections. Maybe there were more na hindi na natin nakita. Pero she's out of the family. So it doesn't apply. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm. Ayun. Yes,
Kasi
to be safe,
because-
zero for Alyansa. Lito
Because-
Lapid, attorney.
Lito Lapid. Para
Miss
wala
Rafi,
akong masabi kasi wala akong naramdaman sa kanya. Sorry. Wala akong naramdaman sa kanya. Head
Pero
siya ng
pumapasok siya sa mga surveys. That's
Oo.
because the family name talaga. Lapid,
artista
ganyan.
din, tsaka name recall.
Oo,
Name
So,
recall.
kailangan na natin ipaglaban yung Duterte. So, halimbawa, yung mga kailangan ma-push natin, Senator, si Attorney Lambino, Attorney JV, yung dalawang yan, di kilala eh. So, medyo mahina so far yung numbers ni Attorney Vic, pero ako confident ako magpipick up yan, aangat yan. But still need to push for them. Para sa akin, para lang i-deny ko yung boto for anybody else. Pipilitin ko talaga na sa kanila mapunta. Kaya siya naman masayang. So, may mga nagsasabi, Norberto Gonzales. Norberto Gonzales, oo nga, may statement daw siya na pro dun sa pagpapadala ng PRD sa ICC. So, walang firm stand on impeachment. And sa akin, you need to take a stand. The same goes with Colonel Kerubin. I have not, he deliberately does not make any statement on impeachment. Siya naman ang nagkwento Nagkita kami last year sa wake ni former Senator Biazon. Marines yun So, I was there because kaklase ko yung anak ni Senator Biazon. So, we were at the wake, nagkita kami. And he informed me na tumatakbo siya. But that he is neither Duterte nor Marcos, sabi niya. And tinanong ko, so your campaign will be studied neutrality. Oo naman siya about that. Pero sa akin, at a time like this, you cannot be neutral.
Can't be neutral.
So, no talaga. Okay.
No talaga ako. Kasi ako, I'm originally from Bukidnon, and I witnessed firsthand how the New People's Army attacked the ordinary civilian people, the indigenous people, mga ganyan. And ikaw nakikita kita eating with those people, advocating or fighting, defending those people na umaatake sa amin. I cannot vote for you. So it's my basis is more on talaga personal experience and ganyan. Kasi nga, 'di ba, isang bayan coalition, ipo-point out ko lang 'yan. Si Attorney Howard Calleja, and Justice Carpio, sila talaga ang first na nag-stress kay VP Sara. Nag-file sila ng impeachment, nag-file sila ng petition sa Supreme Court na pinapabalik daw yung 125 million na ni VP Sara kasi daw unconstitutional, and at the same time yung mga corrupt na mga issues nila and everything. So sila yun. And yung mga tao na umatake kay VP, sila mismo ang nag-endorse sa'yo. What does it tell you? It tells you that either you really are connected with them, or maybe a planted candidate or whatever. This is only my observation. So I cannot really give out my full support or my vote to you. So ito yung pinapaintindi ko sa kanila. Up to you. For example, because of FPRRD's endorsement, you're gonna vote for that person, but I cannot vote for that person knowing that he associated himself or 'di ba? With the enemies of the state. And VP Sara during the 2022 vice presidential elections, her speech really was telling us that she is the kind of person that who doesn't want to sleep with her enemies. And who are the enemies of the state? Ito yun sila. Sila yung mga tao. So, sa akin talaga, I cannot support, although may endorsement siya ni Tatay Digong. I'm loyal to Tatay Digong, but I'm not loyal to the person.
No, and besides nga, Tatay Digong may not be deliberately endorsing the purposes of winning.
Correct.
Message. Kasi masyado namang kita eh. Ano bang similarities ni Sir Greg kay Sir Ariel?
Punasan.
Platters. Yun talaga. Ano bang iisipin mo pa? And I know this for a fact. Ako nga, when Sir Ariel was facing a military court-martial in 2006, I was the lawyer for two of the defendants in that case. So more than two, tatlo pala, si Ruben Ginulbay, yung hero of Lamitan, si Jason Aquino, who became later NFA administrator, and si General Miranda, plus si Colonel Sigumalian, siya yung ito yung mga heroes. These are bemedaled, well-respected officers who were also facing a court-martial. So I know the difference between Arnel Querubin and the others. So
may picture na nagsimba si Arnel Querubin. Tapos kasama niya si Teddy Casino, Luke Espiritu, Franz Castro. Sila, I mean yung all the salot ng lipunan in one picture frame.
Right.
In one frame. So ngayon, nag-explain si Colonel Querubin, sabi niya, ang tawag dito, sabi niya,
Catholic for ako. Good governance.
Oo, Catholic ako, so nagsimba lang ako. So hindi naman daw siguro kasalanan na magsimba siya. Oo, pwede ka naman pong magsimba.
Sorry palusot. Sorry.
Maraming simbahan sa Metro Manila. Simba ka kasabay mo si Franz Castro.
Sa Saint ka magsimba, Saint of Impossible Causes. Bakit dun? Sorry, palusot.
Sorry, I cannot really vote for him talaga. Magalit na tawagin mo nila akong double agent, bayaran ni whatever. I don't care. I mean, you can tell me, you can name call me and everything that you wanna do, assassinate my character. I don't care. My vote, my choice.
That's BS. You never cared. You never cared about being called out these things.
Yeah,
so it's not even in this particular case. You don't care. Walang effect. So, the same naman goes for all of us eh. So, para sa akin teka muna, address natin yung elephant in the room, yung double agent na yan. If double agents kami, then ako okay lang. You can think whatever you want to think. Pero you attack my logic. You attack you attack the argument. Yung dadating ka dito, tapos kaya you will pass judgment on me because you heard somebody say something na wala namang pinisinta na na ebidensya, na tumatawag pa out of sheer desire na makasira, na pa na grabe kinaril talaga, na inaaraw-araw niya yung ilang mga tao na ang naging sukli sa kanya ay lahat ng mga followers, most of the followers who were still following her nag-unfollow na. Ayun,
Ako ang hindi ko maintindihan, bakit sila tumatawag ng double agent? Hindi nga nila nakakasilimuha si VP Sara, si Tatay Digong, si Kung Paolo or si Mayor Baste. For example ako tinatawanan ko lang yan na issue na yan because tinatawag akong double agent. Hala, almost every day ata kami or every 3 days, 2 days nakikita ni Baste. Pwede nila akong paganyanin kung gustuhin nila, di ba? Ako pa talaga ang double agent. Anyway, tama yung sinabi mo, Attorney Trixie, na yun, dapat i-attack tayo through our logic. Hindi yung sa ganyan na mga aspect, ganyan. Tapos ang nakikita ko kasi, they are not getting any clout. They are not getting, their following is not even increasing. So, it's telling us na they are not making any sense at all, di ba? Kasi nga, ako halimbawa 90,000 followers lang ako, na-shock ako ngayon 375,000 na pala. Meaning to say, I am making sense. Yung mga pinagsasabi ko dito may value, it holds weight. So people are following me because say for it, they love my write up, or maybe they share the same sentiments with me. Kaya may gusto akong i-call out dito sa comment section. Sabi niya, hindi daw ako double agent, na brainwash lang daw ako ni Joey.
Oh.
Hindi, sabi ni News Channel.
Ako
Sabi
din
ko,
na.
hala, hindi
Ikaw na.
ako, sandali lang, hindi ako na brainwash ni Attorney Trixie, lawyer yan. Magkaiba kami ng mga opinion sa ibang bagay. Si Joey pa kaya. Hindi din kami nag-uusap. Paano ako ma-brainwash?
Influence sa'yo, Tiyo.
Because you are so evil, Joey.
Grabe. Ganyan.
Alam mo, yung nagsabi niyan, fan ni Joey yan. Kasi ang tingin niya, napakahina natin, Tiyo, na kayang-kaya tayo ni Joey.
Oo.
Hindi ko talaga. Magkano binayad ni Joey sa'yo, Chanel?
Oo.
I-triple ko na lang yan.
Hindi na lang. It goes back to this. Tama kayo eh. The people who call us double agents are insulting VP Inday, insulting PRD, insulting the Dutertes because they think that they're so stupid not to see na buwan-buwan tayong kasama pagkatapos ay, di ba? Hindi nakikita ni Inday yan. Sobrang sobrang tanga naman itong mga to. It's like calling, especially PRD, my goodness. It doesn't make any kind of sense na ipipilit yung naratiba na yan. But this is something we have to think about. There are instances where, yung support, everybody knows our support for the Dutertes. That's not a secret. So, ikaw, Tio, you have a following of a 300 plus and very clear yung defense for the Vice President, given some of the insider information na rin. Joey, your consistency and your omnipresent all over social media. Why do they need to attack us through that? The attack is on the Dutertes. I'm sorry to have to say it this way, but because destroying your credibility destroys the defense of VP Inday. I'm not saying that she relies only on us, but there will be a strong may mga nasasalag kayo, lalo na hindi kakayanin ng ibang tao, or it might take a while before. I'm not saying we're irreplaceable, but it's a chink in the armor. Kumbaga, if they can take down as many of the defenders of VP Inday and PRD, then the easier na mapapabagsak sila. So you go after the vloggers. Hence, tayo yung nasa Noisy 37. Tayo yung tinatawag na double agents. But let's call it,
Di ba?
Alam niyo